Tonight on CTV News, we have a look at a Nobel Prize winner on campus. Then later on, we have a look at some people proposing a new marijuana bill in Colorado.
All that, plus a full weather forecast, sports, and entertainment, starting now on CTV News.
Good evening, and thanks for watching CTV News. I'm Willis Scott.
And I'm Michelangelo Bustamante. And here's what's going on around Fort Collins and CSU.
The Islamic Center of Fort Collins is having an open house discussion on Sunday, March 12, from 11 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. The center's Facebook page says the goal is to welcome and thank the many supporters of freedom of religion in America. The title of Sunday's discussion is Love Your Neighbor as Yourself. The center will provide food for attendees. It invites the public of Fort Collins to attend the discussion.
After months of feeling like her domestic abuse case was hushed by the university, Stephanie Bess is looking for justice. Bess was dating basketball player Gian Clavel when Clavel was arrested twice for domestic abuse, once in November 2016 and then again in July 2015. Bess was the alleged victim in both cases. When Bess found the police had dropped the case against Clavel, she was disappointed by the lack of consequences he received. But when she sought out advocacy with the university, she was even more disappointed by the lack of support she found. Both student athletes, Bess and Clavel, met in the training room. They dated for a year and a half. She also said there was a pattern of abuse. Clavel declined an interview with the Collegian and referred to his lawyer, Eric Fisher, for comments about this incident. According to his lawyer, there was no pattern of abuse. Bess says she has nothing to hide. She wants to tell the truth about Clavel and the university protocol. For the full interview with Bess, you can read it on thecollegian.com.
State Representative Joanne Janal wants to pass bills that will help marijuana businesses. She held a public meeting to talk about marijuana in Muggs Coffee Shop on College Avenue last Saturday. Janal met with community members who are interested in the state regulations affecting the pot industry. She said making marijuana legal on the federal level would increase the industry's tax contributions.
If it could be passed throughout all of the United States, I think that would alleviate a lot of the issues that we're facing as far as our tax base, and maybe providing more monies for education, more monies for transportation, for things that the state of Colorado seems to lag behind in many ways.
Workers from the Choice Organics dispensary presented information about marijuana regulations. The business's compliance officer says college students who use pot should consider themselves representatives of the industry.
Students especially, please be responsible consumers. If you're underage, don't consume marijuana. It's a program and it's a privilege that we get to sell, and people 21 and older get to buy. And those that are old enough to buy, again, be responsible, good ambassadors for the industry.
Colorado State University is the only major college in the state that provides students with the opportunity to study animal sciences and biology. This means that no other schools in the state have any reason to euthanize animals. At most schools, animals they use in their labs are purchased from breeders or slaughterhouses and arrive at the university already euthanized and placed in preservatives. At CSU, this is often the case as well, but occasionally, animals are euthanized. Terry Engel, a professor within the Animal Sciences department, noted that it is mostly small animals that face euthanasia. Kevin Pond, who heads the Animal Sciences department, said that animals may be occasionally euthanized to study meat consumption as well, but this is never done at the university. Additionally, Pond said that CSU has been working to launch an online simulation for dissection. According to Pond, CSU and its Animal Sciences department pride themselves on the humanity of the practices they have endorsed, and they are open to looking more forward to implementing more humane and practical alternatives in the classroom.
The city of Fort Collins says the steadily increasing population has increased the number of crashes and traffic incidents. Head of traffic operations for the city of Fort Collins, Joe Olson, said the city has seen an increase of crashes in the past 5 years. They are up about 22% from 2012. Since 2000, the population in the city has increased more than 32%. That number continues to rise each year. The rising population of northern Colorado brings ever-increasing traffic along with more car crashes. Olson said that 47% of crashes are drivers hitting other cars. Compared to other similar cities in Colorado, Fort Collins has the second lowest rate of crash deaths. Olson said drivers can reduce the risk of crashes by minimizing their distractions. He defined cell phones, music, and distracting passengers as factors that steal drivers' attention away from what's happening on the road.
The Office of International Programs brought yet another great speaker to CSU this week. Our news anchor Marla Lundak attended the event last night and gives you all the details.
On Monday evening, the Colorado State University Office of International Affairs welcomed Lima Jiboy, a Nobel Peace Prize winner, to the Laurie Student Center. In 2011, Lima Jiboy and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf shared the Nobel Peace Prize after leading a women's peace movement that helped end the Second Liberian Civil War in 2003. Lima was born in Liberia in 1972 and was only 17 when the Liberian Civil War began. In her own words, she described the experience as going from a child to an adult in a matter of hours. Lima began by telling her inspirational stories and recalling her experiences on spreading peace throughout the world.
You have the choice to say, I object to any system that tends to divide us.
Lima spoke heavily on the importance of keeping faith in humanity and not to give up even in the darkest of situations. She stressed that all people have humanity in common. She inspired the crowd by telling them to unify their communities simply by speaking out to one person and getting to know them.
We have more in common than we want to make ourselves to believe. So we have our common humanity. That's all we have. And we said, with this common humanity, we're going to work together to build peace in this nation.
Toward the end of her speech, there was a Q&A segment, and I had the chance to speak with one of the students who got to ask Lima for some words of wisdom for African students at CSU.
Remember, first of all, that we are Africans and that it is in our blood. No matter how many years we live in the United States, we will be still Africans. And I have always thought that, but it was really important coming from her, given the place where she comes from. Not forgetting what you can give back, you know? Like, the rest of the world has so much due to Africa, right? Now, what can we give back to Africa as African students?
Lima is one of just 49 women to be given this prestigious award, and since her victory, she still travels the world to spread words of peace and unity.
To find out more about speakers and events like this, check out www.international.colostate.edu. Willis, what do you think about these speakers that the International Programs Office is bringing to campus?
I think it's really cool. I was so surprised when I found out that CSU was bringing a Peace Prize laureate here, and I didn't get to go listen to her, unfortunately. I was out of town, but from what I understand, she just had a great talk, and people really seem to benefit from it.
Yeah, and it's cool that, you know, we can bring these, you know, Nobel Peace Prize winners and, you know, other people like that out to campus. It's, you know, it's what makes CSU such a great place.
It really does. It's a neat opportunity for everybody. Well, that's all we have for news, but coming up, Sierra Symes has the full weather forecast.
Then later on, we have sports and entertainment.